The following is a conversation. It has the features of any conversation, such as imperfectly expressed thoughts, ill-considered opinions, and the notions of several sleep-deprived brains. Try not to get your stethoscope in a twist about it.
Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Geis.
I hear you got some event coming up that you want to tell people about.
I do. So on Thursday, October 3rd, we are hosting our professional and graduate school virtual conference. So this is for students who are interested in the MD program, the PA program, or biomedical sciences PhD programs. It's a good chance to learn more about Carver, what our programs are all about, and hear from some pretty cool people.
And who's it for?
It is for any undergraduate students. It's totally on Zoom. You can do it from the comfort of your couch or bed or yard. Please join us.
Did you say how much it costs?
Oh, it's free.
Free?
Free to register.
That's crazy.
So visit the Short Quote Podcast website for the registration link and more information. We hope to see you there.
Meandering in the margins of medicine, it's the Short Coat Podcast.
Weird news,
fresh views,
helpful clues, and interviews.
By students, for students.
Subscribe to our weekly show at theshortcoat.com.
Welcome back to the Short Coat Podcast, the show that gives you an inside look at medical school from the students drinking from that fire hose. It's a production of the University of Iowa Carver College of Medicine. I'm Dave Etler. With me today in the SCP studio, she's a 10, but she still plays Animal Crossing. It's M2 Taryn O'Brien.
I've never played Animal Crossing.
Don't contradict me.
I have animals. Does that count?
It's like real live Animal Crossing.
There we go.
She's a 10, but she insists socks and sandals are back. It's M1 Sarah Lowenberg.
Ayo.
He's a 10, but he infodumps Twilight lore.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
And she's a 10, but she insists Sabrina Carpenter has unappreciated depths. It's M2 Radha Velamuri.
Unappreciated what now?
Unappreciated depths.
Oh, yeah. Her music is delightful and means everything to me.
I want to remind you, Shortcoats, we're always excited to get listener questions that we can address on the show. And we did get one from Charlotte. She submitted her question at theshortcoat.com/tellus. Charlotte has been accepted into medical school and has now started her senior year in college, and she's wondering what to do with the time that is left to her in college. Let's hear from Charlotte.
Hello all. I recently got accepted into medical school and am wondering how to fill my remaining senior year meaningfully. I'm taking a mix of fun art and biology classes. For extracurriculars, I plan to work as a medical scribe to network with doctors, learn about patient care, and save money. I also want to spend more time in the lab to gain experience and get publications. Would you recommend working as an EMT? I have my EMT license and have volunteered in EMS in the past. Paid EMS work would allow me to work on my medical decision-making and earn money. I genuinely enjoy EMS and think it's a valuable clinical experience. However, I tend to take on too much, as my friends often remind me. For context, I'm also working as an RA and have a cushy part-time job. But also, I have studied abroad and do lots of fun clubs, so it's not like I haven't taken time to enjoy myself. Should I work as an EMT this year, alongside scribing and lab work, or do I need to chill? My equally workaholic friend encourages me to work in EMS. I genuinely enjoy all these experiences, so I'm more trying to decide where to focus my energy. Thank you for any advice.
Cool. Charlotte, I'm tired now that I listened to your question. Not that you're boring or anything.
Sounds like the perfect person. Like, I'm not going to lie. You're doing everything.
And loves it.
Yeah.
And loves it. I'm tired. I just do my 9-to-5 job and I go home and I'm tired. And I lie on the couch and scroll on TikTok. That's my whole personality outside of work. But no, there's Charlotte doing all the things and wanting to know if she should do more.
First off, congrats, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Great job getting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, let's...
Congratulations.
We're proud of you.
Any
That's it.
Yeah.
Next question.
I mean, it kind of is like, maybe you could relax, Charlotte. You've done the thing that needed to be done for now.
I feel like Charlotte can do whatever Charlotte wants, but ultimately, like, if it's about doing all the things because you want to, that's fine. If it's doing all the things because you feel like you need to, You don't. You're in. Once you're in, you're in. So it's what you prioritize right now. Like you said, you want to make money. I would definitely recommend that because money seems to just slip through your fingers. When you get here.
Money's nice.
Yeah, and when you value money when you see it just disappear in front of you. So money is good, and also like Charlotte mentioned working as an EMT and really liking it. That's great. Like you can do that if you want to. A lot of people take a break before med school starts or PA school or whatever.
In fact, we've said many times on the show, it's okay to chill.
It's okay to take a break. Yeah. But like, does Charlotte want that?
Doesn't sound like it. And I got a little, my voice had a little judgment in there, Charlotte, and I apologize for that. But that's just, who I am.
Charlotte, we're worried about you. You are doing the most right now. And we as medical students, we understand what doing the most looks like, but might just want to take a little bit of a chill pill and just like actually enjoy your summer. Yeah, hang out with your senior friends.
Go on a vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Plan a vacation.
It's more like we're giving you the courage to not do the most.
Permission.
You can if you, permission.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You can if you want to. I mean, it sounds like you really enjoy being busy, and being busy is some people's form of relaxation. Is that a contraindication?
Some people feel out of sorts if they're not doing something, I guess.
Yeah. It's like, does it fill your cup or not? And I mean, I did have like visceral panic reading that whole entire paragraph, but it's like, it is something similar to what I think all of us go through, especially if you're not going straight into medical school right after undergrad. You're like, oh, I got to do whatever I can to round out my application. But we also, if you're already there, like that's such a huge success in and of itself. And from there, it's also looking at, you're preparing for like the longest educational marathon of your life, because it really is drinking from the proverbial fire hose. In undergrad, you have like 12 to 15 credits is kind of the average, whereas I think we take 28, maybe
like 24, I'd say is the average.
Yeah,
because it's between, I think first semester was like 23 and then it went up to 28 at some point.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
It is.
That sounds like when people talk about billions of dollars. Like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, like
you guys don't really know what that means. You just know that you're working a shit.
One of our curriculum people was talking to me the other day and just like, yeah, basically if you take like our credit hours, the amount of content and everything, it's like doing 3 grad programs at once. And so do what needs to be done. Find a good job that you enjoy, that you can make money on and save, because that helps relieve some stress. But more than that, just don't try to overextend yourself with research. Don't try to overextend yourself with adding on additional jobs and doing this and that for the sake of like gaining clinical experience. Because at the end of the day, your brain, you don't want to accidentally burn yourself out before starting medical school, because there's just no way to really fully encapsulate what it is until you're there. Like, I think all of us can account for, those of us who have finished our first year, we look back on it and we're like, I don't know how I did it. I did it. I just don't know how we got from A to B. That's okay.
Sarah, what did you do? What did you do when you found out that? Was there a gap year for you?
Yeah. So my journey was there's a couple of gap years here and there. So I took 2 years off before I did my master's, and then I actually took another 2 years off before I was here.
I love a complicated journey.
It's great.
I feel like it gives lie to the whole, like, you have to do it in a certain way.
Oh yeah, and I would recommend to every single person do minimum 1 gap year. That's that's my blanket statement to everyone.
I support that.
But I would say, like, I read this, I'm like, I love being busy. Like, so I resonate with this like wholeheartedly in Charlotte's comments, but I like function better when I'm busy, because then I don't have time to stress about other things. But I would agree.
So this is a busy as defense mechanism.
Yes. Highly recommend.
The horrors persist.
They really do.
And so do I.
And so do I. But I would also agree kind of with what was said earlier, that if it's something that you genuinely want to do, give it a try. If it's overwhelming, then you can always, not do it. But don't do it because you feel like you have to do it, especially since you're already in. You have all the stuff. You already done EMT stuff. But if it's something you genuinely want to do, I'd highly recommend giving it a try. Like I said,
I want Charlotte. I do want Charlotte to go on a vacation. And it doesn't have to be like sit on the beach, do nothing vacation, Charlotte. I mean, there are other options. You could go you could hike the Appalachian Trail. This sounds like something Charlotte might be into.
It's taking a break.
Go get a van and convert it to a tiny home, a mobile tiny home. That should take you about a week. If I'm reading Charlotte correctly.
And sell crafts out of it.
And
actually more like 3 days.
or
go to Baja, California, like certain people I could mention.
Charlotte wants to save money. It could be something where she just drives around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be expensive, but
hear me out. Find a different hobby that you like or you enjoy that's not school or like professionally related, and just go ham on that.
I do want to be like devil's advocate or like Charlotte's advocate here, in that I think it should be like. So she mentioned that she wants to get more clinical experience, and I understand that going into medical school is scary because it is literally just exclusively it's clinical experience. That's what medical school is. You have your preclinical classes and then you have your rotations. And as someone who didn't have much clinical experience coming into medical school, there was like a learning curve that I had to go over to like learn a bunch of terminology, figure out what even a hospital is and things like that. But since you have that EMS training and experience, you probably already have that clinical experience. So if Charlotte was not Charlotte and someone else and didn't have any clinical experience and was worried that they're going into medical school, they don't know anything and they want to like maybe get a step up, I would recommend like doing that EMS or getting some or like doing something to get more clinical experience if that's something that you are scared for. So
but medical school is going to give you all of that.
It's going to, but it'll make it easier when you're here.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also like the difference between taking on a full-on job to get that clinical experience versus another great option is just scheduling some regular interval shadowing, because then that's low pressure. It's not like I need to do my absolute best. I need to accomplish A, B, C, and D while I'm here, but you're still able to get that exposure.
Yeah. Charlotte doesn't give a shit about pressure. Charlotte.
You don't need to impress anyone anymore. You have already done the impressing.
Charlotte is already a diamond.
Absolutely.
She's been compressed by heat and pressure into a diamond.
Charlotte is who we all want to be.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I mean, no offense to Charlotte.
Yeah, no, we love her.
Oh yeah, no.
I think Charlotte would be a great person.
So I want to be a little more like Charlotte, like to the point where the dishes actually get done immediately, kind of thing, and I vacuum.
We're making a lot of assumptions about Charlotte based on a one paragraph question.
I mean, that's all we got. So let's go with it. I feel like it's totally
You are in Charlotte's head right now.
Yeah, like
okay.
Well, Charlotte didn't tell us what her fun activities were that she did outside of class. She specifically left that blank.
We're assuming it's washing
Nobel
dishes.
Prize research.
I'm not assuming it's washing dishes.
There's cancer on the side.
Yeah. She builds homes.
Yeah.
For people who need homes.
That's what I was reading into it as.
I'm sorry, Charlotte.
This is what happens when you send us a question.
Don't scare other people from sending in questions.
Please submit more questions.
She doesn't.
Basically, it's like you send us these questions and we read them and we're like, oh my gosh, this person is awesome.
She's also an astronaut.
You're just sitting there trying to think of more things that Charlotte could be doing.
Yeah. She's a little side hustle as an astronaut.
That was her fun job that she had. She said her cushy part-time
side job was an astronaut?
Yeah, just
on the side.
Just on the side.
I mean, that's what it takes to get into medical school these days. You have to be a
That's
astronaut
not what
on
it
the
takes
side.
to get into medical school. Don't frighten people. That's not it.
Radha, do you moonlight as an astronaut?
I do. Actually, no. My dreams were crushed as a kid because you need to have perfect vision to be an astronaut. And I've had glasses since I was like 5. So I was told pretty early on that wasn't in the stars.
I feel like that's not true anymore. Come on. They're letting old people go up.
I made a good place. Did no one hear my pun? It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was focused on...
I said it wasn't in the stars. Thank you. I just really needed to be acknowledged.
I'm sorry. Please acknowledge Radha's attempt at
Good job, Radha.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, they're letting anybody go up into space now. People who aren't even, like, astronauts. Just this week, there was a private mission, I guess, a SpaceX private thing where they did a spacewalk.
I don't know if I trust SpaceX.
Great.
Personally.
Well, and even when William Shatner went on SpaceX, he regretted it because he was just like, the amount of insignificance I now feel as a human taking up space on this earth after like being up there and seeing all that. And I was reading it and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to pay several $1 million just for an existential crisis. I can give one to myself.
Yeah,
for
that's
free.
that's a good point. Yeah.
You have thoughts on SpaceX?
I was just saying, now we lost that Elon Musk sponsorship that we were so desperately trying to get.
God dang it.
Let's defer to Menards.
Yeah, it's true.
Keep pondering.
It's like,
Menards, we want you.
Elon, I'm sorry. You seem like a great guy.
Trying to keep the door open.
Keep a straight. Say that again, but keep a straight
sorry.
face.
You seem like a great guy, Elon Musk. Yeah, love what you're doing with X. It's going real well.
We love how much we can utilize Tesla Cybertrucks for not farm work.
Yeah, no, I mean, hit us up. I'm sure you could use the help from us. Have we addressed Charlotte's question enough at this point?
I think so. I think we mostly just really boosted Charlotte's ego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While slightly providing a little bit of advice.
Charlotte, I would like to know if we've made incorrect assumptions about you.
Let us know if you are not a part-time astronaut.
Yeah, that seems unlikely, but if we've made incorrect assumptions about you, then shoot us a message at theshortcode.com/tell us. Maybe she's doing more than we've even talked about. Like, we don't know.
What's beyond space?
The universe.
Yeah.
Isn't that included within?
Space is part of the universe, but there could be multiple universes.
Okay.
What's the X word?
My brain.
Yeah, she could be a multiverse
Oh, God.
warrior of some sort.
What's that, the Doctor Strange? Like,
Yeah. Yes.
We just solved it.
She's just
gonna be
magic.
Dr. Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Charlotte is now
Doctor
a magician.
Strange, okay, like Doctor Strange in the movie, Doctor Strange was a
physician.
accomplished physician who that was his life, his whole thing, right? And then he got screwed. I can't remember how.
Car accident.
Got a car accident. He's all trembly, and go to Tibet. Is that where he went?
Yeah, somewhere in Nepal, I think.
Somewhere. Okay, go
Nepal.
Charlotte. There's your vacation spot.
Nepal.
Go to Nepal. Learn how to do the twirly thing.
She already knows it.
And, well, that's probably
Yeah. Don't underestimate Charlotte's intelligence and magical capacity.
No.
Charlotte, follow your dreams. Follow what your heart tells you to do. Ultimately, we can't tell you really what to do.
No.
Just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story.
This question came in July. She's already doing something. I should have addressed it in July, but I have a backlog. It's fine. Let us know what you decided to do. Let us know if it's congruent with what ridiculous things we've said today that you should do. Mm-hmm. It's probably not a good idea, but
space. Time to go to space, Charlotte.
She listens to us while she's in space.
Here's a strict yes or no question. Did any of you feel when you started like you were kind of old to start this journey? Now on the count of 3, you can answer the question. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
No.
Okay, we have a couple yeses, I think, right? Why'd you think that?
I mean, both Sarah and I did the same master's program, and so we both took several years off and then did our master's program.
You guys are in your late 20s, is
yeah.
that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not so much I feel old in general. It's just compared to a chunk of my classmates, I feel like I'm just at a very different point in life.
Yes. Second that 100%.
Yeah. It's I got married this past summer. We own a house that we're fixing up. It's just I'm in a different stage of life. So my external stressors are different than other people's. How I'm planning to spend my breaks different than other people's. And so in that way, I feel old. Did I feel too old to be starting medical school? No.
Yeah.
Not by any means, but it's more just I acknowledge that there is definitely a different place in my life.
Yeah, for sure. I would say I agree 100% with everything that you said for the same reason.
Well, Doesn't sound like you feel like you were too old for medical school, any of you. This guy, this guy I'm about to talk about, To Hong Kang, a Malaysian man, recently became one of the world's oldest medical school graduates. To pursued, I think that's how I'm pronouncing it, T-O-H. He pursued medicine after a long career in tech sales. CNN profiled him. That's how old he was. And he said that despite age-related changes with memory, eyesight, and stamina, he completed medical school at 70 years old. What inspired him was a chance meeting with medical students while he was on vacation, I guess. Before that, he hadn't thought of going to medical school at all, but they inspired him to try something entirely new. In fact, he did it as something challenging to do in his retirement years.
I have questions.
My inspiration.
So, and at first I was all for it until we got towards the end, and he said it sounded like a fun thing to do in my retirement. Like, is he not planning on going to a residency program? Is he not planning on practicing?
Is he a masochist?
I don't think he is planning on going to
Okay,
it. I
so
think he says that in the article.
That I have issues with if it's the case of him taking a spot away from other medical students, because it is competitive. We have a ton of people every single year that don't get in or miss a cutoff, or maybe like he was on a wait list and he got in and somebody else didn't. Because like,
but that's up to the school.
Yeah.
I feel
it's also a matter of, I mean, at that point you could bring up it's a matter of public investment, you know, like when a physician graduates maybe or finishes residency in their early 30s or something, then hopefully they'll practice for 40 years or something like that. And so you get that many years of helping humanity and service. And so since he's, 70, how much longer how can he support people? But it doesn't even sound like he's going into residency. So like, congratulations to him. Like, good on you. Yeah. You're doing something that I certainly wouldn't be able to do.
Okay.
I just feel like the medical school should make an audit option for people like him. That way they're not taking away.
So I will say, I read the whole article. Towards the end of the article, he did say, I think he's starting some kind of like grant program so that he can pay for other people to go to school. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for.
And he said that, so, he'd like to give back. He also said that he would consider working in private industry using his knowledge, which, I mean, you can make whatever argument you want about that. I do think that there is a certain, I don't know what percentage of it is, but certain percentage of students who go to medical school and graduate and do not end up practicing clinical medicine. They go into some sort of industry, which is not something that schools, especially state schools, I would think, are super excited about. It's just not what we're here to do, but I think it's a valid choice.
You can't, like, people will choose what they want to do. You know, you're not going to, as much as a school can say, oh, we need so many people to, for example, there's the primary care crisis where every school is trying to encourage people to go into primary care, but the rates are just getting lower and lower every year as people go into more specialized fields. Because people make that choice. Like, we need more primary care, but ultimately it's up to the person and the amount of residency spots available that determines what field they go into.
He did at times doubt his decision to go to medical school, which is a perfectly normal thing to do.
There we sympathize.
The doubt is something. When have you doubted yourselves?
Always.
Like,
what do you mean?
When
like,
want
a specific?
Every step of the way.
Yes.
There weren't any particular times like you got a bad grade?
This morning at like 6 a.m. The M2s had an exam this morning. So at like 6 a.m. I went through a little crisis.
I mean, I've been having like intermittent crises for basically the 2 weeks between any exam. I'm having self-doubts, but...
So after the exam, you're like, okay.
Let's start on the next crisis.
Yeah, there's like this curve where you're like, oh, this went really well. I feel great about my decision, and then within a couple of days,
it'll hit about like 3 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be like, why am I not studying?
Were there any other moments that you felt like, in particular, that you could point to besides exams?
How do you guys feel? You're our new M1s.
Okay. I'll let you know after 3 p.m. today how the self-doubt's going. Right now, I'm just like, what will be, but maybe after the exam, I'll be like, oh, no, not good.
The fact that you're here shows that you guys are not in like a spiral right now, Or maybe this is just to mask the pain.
I thought the whole point of this was so that we wouldn't talk about the
correct.
exam that
Yes.
I have like 30 minutes from
yes.
now.
Let's talk
I like to stay busy.
Let's talk about an old man who just graduated from medical school. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm proud of him.
Honestly, yeah, that's awesome.
My grandpa was actually one of the oldest people to graduate from the University of Minnesota Medical School. So he wasn't quite 70 though.
How old was your?
I think he was like 40, but he was still one of the oldest people to do it at that time.
We've had some relative oldsters graduate. I'm not 70 again, but people who are in their 40s for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But this would have been
there was like a whole cohort years ago. Like they all got here together, and they were all in their. I think they were all in their 40s at the time, and they've all done remarkable things since leaving. If a 70-year-old can do it, you can, you spry young
You better.
you children with all your energy.
Sounds like he has more energy than all of us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the show about having too much energy. Here's a question from Moesha. Moesha sort of feels that there's a pre-med trap of never feeling like they're doing enough.
I'm currently a junior studying human physiology and Spanish on the pre-medicine track. I've been listening to the Short Coat podcast for about a year or two, and I absolutely love the topics you guys discuss. I've even visited the recording room. I wanted to send in a question for the podcast. How can we get over the pre-med trap of never feeling like we are doing enough?
And so this would be our chance to counterpoint Charlotte's situation. When is enough enough?
It's a competition.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to be weird, but there's no such thing as there's no set value of this is enough. It's you just end up doing things and you have to market it in a way that makes it seem like you did enough.
Mm-hmm. And even outside of the marketing of it is the fact that whatever experiences you do, you can extrapolate and market it how much you want, but what's going to have the most effect is something that was a thorough, meaningful experience that you can easily market, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So rather than just having it be at face value, oh yeah, I did research, I published 5 things, having being able to talk about a project that you specifically did, they let you take the lead on it, you really appreciated getting that opportunity and growing these various skills. There's just different ways to kind of look at those experiences. And myself, every other pre-med out there, fell into that trap of trying to do a million things, but quickly realized I couldn't maintain that. So pick a few things that you can give your all to and get meaningful experience back from. Yeah. I don't know. There's no perfect formula. So
no, there isn't. I mean, there's no number of things that schools are looking for. There's no number of hours that you need to do shadowing. Schools just want to know that you have explored your chosen career, that you understand what it is you're getting yourself into, that you've really thought about it, that you've really explored it. Because otherwise you can't answer the question, why medicine?
There's no correct thing to talk about either, because you can turn anything into a or medical school applicably related whatever experience. That's what I did. I mean, I did do all the stereotypical things. So a lot of those are checking boxes.
Yes, there are certain hoops that you have to jump.
You have to do those things. But, in my interview, I talked about how I was in an a cappella group. And I talked about how I taught multiple classes. And for example, when I was trying to figure out how to make these things all fit together, I was oh, they all have the common element of with medicine of teaching, because teaching a class, obviously. But for a cappella, I was director for music stuff, for the music arrangement that we did. And so every time I would have to create an arrangement and then teach it to the group. So I turned it into teaching. And then I was oh, teaching, that's the same thing when you're a doctor. Doctors derive from the word docer or whatever, which means to teach in Latin. I don't know. I knew this at one point.
Probably.
Yeah, everything is derived from Latin. And it means to teach. And I was oh my gosh, that's what doctors do. They teach their patients. They counsel their patients. That's me. And
Actually,
they were
that might be good for Charlotte.
Yeah.
To think about. an activity that involves teaching if she hasn't already done that.
Well,
Probably has.
I think Charlotte's been a teacher for 12 years.
Yeah, she teaches elementary school.
She has a PhD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can turn anything into, that's all about the marketing.
I'm really, Charlotte, I want you to know that I'm not being mean. Like I'm not. I really am impressed with you.
Dave is just loving.
Yes, this is how I express love, is I make fun of you.
This is like also his form of like self-deprecation, is just being like, look at all these things.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that shit. Anyway, go on.
No, that's it. That's a good way to end my story. Just let's compliment Charlotte some more, and also say that marketing is where it's at. You can do anything as long as you can market it.
I would say TLDR, do what brings you joy, what makes you happy. It's so much easier to talk about in an interview, and you can, like, marketing is all where it's at, because you can market anything. It's just, all about how you do it. So do what makes you happy, and you can figure out how to talk about it in an interview. My interview, I'm pretty sure I remember talking for a decent amount of time about like gardening and my garden that I did this year, because I gave gardening a try. And so it's just, they want to know that you're a person and you have interests, and that you like are able to do those interests.
What kind of gardening did you?
So I had 2 raised garden beds, and the year that I'm talking about, I was like really excited, and I planted like 15 different things, and like
that always works out really well.
I kind of did survival of the fittest and let grow, and so the tomatoes went out, and so they just took over everything. But this year we pared it down to strawberries and tomatoes and cucumbers. So right now I have a lot of tomatoes and cucumbers.
And no strawberries.
And no strawberries.
Did you get any strawberries?
We did get some, but we actually also have ducks, and they love to get into the...
No wonder you and Taryn know each other.
Are you looking to get rid of any cucumbers or tomatoes?
Or ducks?
Actually, yes to all the above.
Hit me up.
Yeah. All right.
I'm the one who be the influencer for you rescuing 100%. The husky.
Yep,
from
100%.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out.
Husky godmother.
Yeah. So we answered Moesha's question, correct?
I think so. I guess to sum it up, Moesha, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Don't compare yourself to other people and what they're doing, because you may be comparing yourself to a Charlotte, and that is a difficult thing to compare yourself to. I love you, Charlotte.
It's also inevitable to have feelings. Like, it's okay to feel like you're comparing yourself, because I mean, even in medical school, you see all these people around you. It seems like someone's cured cancer, someone's been to the moon. It feels like, I mean, they're all Charlotte, but at this point, it feels like I want to compare myself to my peers, because I'm like, I want to be like them. I want to be like Charlotte. So that's why I still battle those feelings today of feeling inadequate, and I'm in my 2nd year of medical school. I've made it this far. So it never goes away. You just you deal with it. You talk to your friends, you make connections, you find ways to boost your own morale, and that ultimately helps see you through all those gross feelings.
And I think like another really big thing that doesn't get talked about enough is this pathway is not linear. Not temporally, because you don't have to go through your 4 years of undergrad straight to your 4 years of medical school, straight to residency. Like, you can sprinkle in years here and there that you take a break, take your gap years, and then even within medical school, you can take a year to do an externship, you can take a research year. Like, if you're still kind of feeling like, oh, I'd like to do some more research in this, or I'd like to get more clinical experience with this specialty before committing to applying for residency. And that's okay. You just like take things at your own pace.
I have an idea for both Charlotte and Moesha, which is to do nothing and document the shit out of it. And then during your interviews, talk about how you did nothing and how beneficial it was for you to do nothing,
and or document all of like the sympathetic, emotional, mental
that's what I'm saying,
responses, positive or negative to that.
That's what I'm saying.
Make yourself a case study, publish that.
Yes please.
That's how real science is done, if you're your own case study.
I mean, have you seen the guy who has tried pretty much every psychedelic and has a book on it?
No.
Yeah, that's a thing, and it's very famous in psychology. I don't know anything about it because I'm not in psychology. But
is there a name?
It's just book of drugs. No, I don't know if it has a name. I'm sure it does.
Probably has a name.
Just look up guy who had all drugs and is book, and it'll come up.
The psychedelic connoisseur.
Maybe you could look that up.
Author, psychedelic.
Dave, the only thing I was going to say was make sure you're not on the school Wi-Fi when you do that.
No, you can, because it was in a lecture.
Book of drugs.
Yeah, we
Tell
got
me.
a lecture, and it was in the lecture, and I distinctly remember it because I went, is this sanctioned? And then I moved on.
I feel like most
Michael
things go
Pollan?
on the university Wi-Fi. Like, we're like, oh, show me images of like an invasive yeast infection, like in the genital region or things like. And for us, it's like that's completely normal.
Yeah.
Normal things that would like be flagged. Like, what the hell are these kids looking at? It's just like, no, like we actually have to know this.
Yeah, I've seen way too many penises in the last couple days when learning about herpes.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I did it to myself.
When you speak with patients, they often need things explained to them in an accessible way, right? Have you ever...
Layman's terms, baby.
You guys are only M2s, but you've had early clinical experiences. Have you had to like explain things to patients at all, or do they not let you do that?
They don't let us do that quite yet.
Okay.
I feel like I have a little bit, but that's maybe, I don't know if I'm making that up. I could be. Let's move on.
Okay. So to take this to a logical extreme, let's say you're suddenly transported back in time to the Middle Stone Age when humans were first acquiring spoken language. You'd probably be horrified by the medical conditions your new friends, the cave people, suffer from, and you need to do something about it. By God, you need to do something about it. So the most logical thing to do is to open a caveman medical school, right? Makes total sense. So let's play a game we'll call Professor Caveman. I have here in front of Taryn a cup with some cards in them, concepts, terminologies, I guess, that you've seen in these first few weeks of medical school. I actually went to the curriculum database and picked out stuff no later than today.
You did your research.
Nice.
Don't get used to it.
Did they have lab testing? Can we use those words?
Well, we'll see. And your job is to get your co-hosts to guess the concept or the term. You can't use any of the words. You can't use the words on the sheet. And you can only use words of one syllable, like a caveman. One syllable. You cannot use the articles a, an, or the. Think of it like Cookie Monster speech.
Cookie is 2 syllables.
Yes.
And that's all he says.
But he says, me do this, and me, Cookie do that.
But Cookie is...
Well, get over it. And you must adopt guttural caveman voice.
You ask too much of us.
I was going to say, this is a lot of rules I'm having to remember after an MOHD or MOHD4 exam.
This is like a pre-test for us.
Hey, it's great for them. But he wanted to avoid thinking about his exam.
Well,
Dave.
this is about everything.
Maybe it's anatomy.
It's not about
related.
this
Maybe
exam.
there's anatomy in there. We don't have that till next week.
That's true.
So why don't you start, Taryn? Pick a card and you
Don't put it back in.
Don't put it back in.
Guess I'll pick it. Oh, I managed to grab the same
There
one.
you go.
Yay.
Pick a card and just go for it. One syllable, no articles of speech.
The word is action potential.
Light. Zip.
Blindness?
Move.
Light, zip, move.
I don't hear the guttural. I'm sorry.
I'm having to think too hard about everything else.
Light,
zip, move. Keep going. I think I might know.
You wrote them. Of course you know.
The thing.
Light,
Down?
zip, move.
Down's 2 syllables.
No, down is 1 syllable.
Again, I'm having to think.
Do the clapping thing. Do the clapping thing.
Yeah.
Light, zip, move, up, down.
Yeah, now I don't think I know what it is.
Spasm.
Light?
Seizure?
Light. Are we talking about light from the
Headache?
sky, light from the lamp?
Like,
What are some diseases in your curriculum? Just say them.
no, it doesn't have to be a disease.
Oh, it's not a disease?
No.
Oh, I thought it was a disease.
They haven't taken...
They're in foundation.
They're in
I know,
foundation
which is why
stuff.
I was going to be like, G6PD deficiency?
Yeah.
Like, inclusion disease?
Membrane fusion.
Trying to
Inclusion
think.
body, whatever.
This
Isn't that a
one's
disease?
hard, Dave.
Show it to me. Oh. Interesting. Light?
Photosynthesis.
All right, so I'll forget about that one.
Light?
Yeah, can I
Zip?
pull a different one?
Up, down.
Move up, down?
May I pull a different one?
Is this like a cheat code that we're inserting?
I know.
into our
Yeah,
controller
like
Up, down,
right
left,
now?
right,
up, down, left, right, left, right.
Go ahead, pick another one.
It's more like it was action potential. It's more like a basic science thing and not like a medical
What would
thing.
you do? What would you do for action
I would say
potential? Like-
nerve, fast,
Yeah, you're right.
brain.
Oh, sure.
I don't know that I'd get to action potential from
Nerve, start.
Nerve, brain, head to toe. It could be head to toe. That's not right. Muscle is 2 words. I don't know. This is
Nerve move.
Well, she said zip, which in retrospect makes sense.
Up,
Sure.
down. Yeah,
Up, down.
I don't know.
1 syllable. It's
Okay. What's with all the biochem ones here?
because they're in
That's
foundations.
what they're doing. That's what they're doing, baby.
The word is microtubule.
Small.
Ion.
Whole.
Channel.
Protein.
Cholesterol.
Path.
Vesicle.
Transporter.
Long.
Do you know this?
I can see it.
Oh,
I'm helping her out.
long. Wait, what are the words again? Small, holes,
Small. Pipe.
Oh.
oh, channel,
Oh.
Small. Pipe.
channel transporter, ion transporter, sodium, potassium ATPase pump.
How
No, that's not a
specific is
channel.
it? Is it very specific?
Say yes or no.
It's a specific thing. that
We
we're
can
talking
ask
about.
questions. You could just say yes or no. That's caveman.
Yeah.
That's the loophole. Does it have to do with?
Now I want to say a word that definitely doesn't have 1 syllable.
Does it have to do with membranes?
It can.
In cell.
Pore,
In cell.
nucleus,
Mitochondria.
endosome, lysosome,
Pipe.
ribosome,
Pipe. Path.
aquaporin.
Microtubule.
Yes.
Nice.
You did it. See,
ready- I'm ready
it's
for
not
the exam.
impossible.
Let's go.
You're ready. Wow, this is
All right.
hard. I like my loophole
hard.
of asking questions and
Yeah.
you just saying yes or no.
I hope I get an easier one. Oh,
I mean, nobody said opening a med school for cavemen is going to be easy.
They wouldn't know what microtubules are. Anyway.
Well, that's what you got to
right.
teach them. Pipe in cell.
Should have asked about our exam today. It would have been like worms and stuff.
Pipe
See,
in
for
cell. Move
microtubule,
thing from place to place.
I would have said 9 + 2. Would you guys have gotten it?
yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because it's on their exam.
9 + 2?
It's because it's the formation of a microtubule.
See, you say that and I recognize it, but I couldn't have pulled that out.
I only know because I'm a tutor,
Oh, okay.
so I know their curriculum.
You're forced to revisit the trauma.
I am.
Radha's going to be a good caveman teacher.
Yeah.
So great.
Hired. Dean Radha Velamuri of the Caveman Medical School.
I think I would pass there.
All right,
God.
your turn.
All right.
The word is tumor.
Lots. Cells.
Tissue, organism.
Tumor.
There you go.
Oh, you got it first.
That was quick.
Lots, cells. I like
I
that.
know. I was like, what are the simplest? Like, all right.
You could
I
say
heard blots.
Blots, Western.
I know. That's why I'm like, Western, Northern, Southern.
Come on, Dean Caveman.
The word is energy.
Fuel,
ATP.
Mitochondria.
more. Sun,
Did you say sun?
sun, fuel.
Photosynthesis.
More.
Glucose. Fatty acids.
Lipids.
UV damage.
I'm puzzled by sun.
Your word, end, goal.
Citric acid cycle.
Sucrose.
TCG
More.
cycle.
End, goal.
Acetyl CoA.
Oh, I know what it is. Okay, I know what it is. You're doing
Down
great.
Lactic acid.
the line. End, goal. End, goal.
Energy.
ATP.
Yes!
What did you say?
Energy.
Wait, I thought we already said energy.
Oh, really?
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I made that up.
I don't know.
See?
I just kept saying ATP.
We did it.
Listeners, comment below if you heard us say it.
I didn't. Did I pass?
Yeah.
The word is receptor.
On. Cell.
Glycoprotein.
Oh, okay. I know which one.
Lipid membrane.
Capsule.
On cell.
On cell.
What does it do?
Can we have more?
Antigen.
On cell.
Sugar. Moiety.
Bring.
Bring.
In.
Transporter. Channel.
Aquaporin.
Co-transporter.
Uniporter. Symporter. Bring in.
Flip Ace.
Yeah.
Flop
Flop-A's. Scramble-A's.
Are all these things?
L.
They're all things.
D. L.
Cholesterol.
LDL. LDL receptor.
Lipid bilayer. LDL receptor. Oh my god, how specific.
Just start spelling.
Receptor.
LDL receptor. Oh, that's hard. LDL receptor is hard.
Well, it's just receptor.
It's just receptor.
Oh, it's just
I just had to get
receptor.
you to receptor.
Oh.
But I couldn't say message. So then I was like,
LDL is smart. I think that was a really
membrane
good clue.
fluidity.
what do we want to do
Back
now?
to Taryn.
Okay.
I actually really approve of this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems
Not
fun.
that you need my approval for any game.
Well, I
was
am
your
always
stipulation.
happy with
It was. I have a history of disapproving games.
The word is genome.
Us.
Medical student.
D. N. A.
Genome? Genome? Oh, nice.
Easy.
That was really good.
Yeah.
That was insane.
D. N.
Oh god.
The term is amino acid.
Amino.
Acid.
No.
Protein.
It's like
No.
what's that one game where
I
you
gotta
can't
do
use the word of the in the
But also 3 syllables.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was
Sorry,
it?
I didn't do the clapping thing. I didn't have my hands free.
Was it amino acid?
Yeah. But then I realized
We need to do
Sorry,
better with
y'all.
our
Sorry,
caveman
y'all.
voice.
I know. Oh. God, I want to
I didn't
use
do it
one
at all.
word so bad and it's way too many syllables.
With 1 syllable words in it.
Oh.
The term is mitochondria.
Oh god.
That's one. That's a
A.
sentence.
TP.
Energy.
Wait, A was the one letter we couldn't say.
ATP in this case is used as a letter.
TP.
Synthase.
Polymerase or not polymerase.
Sun.
Energy. Glycolysis.
Electron
Transport chain. Krebs cycle.
ATP synthase.
Oxidative phosphorylation.
Rotary pump.
Big.
Metabolism.
Big.
Aerobic respiration.
Hold it up behind Taryn's head so I can see it.
The
Yeah, that's what I thought. Big.
Big. Sun.
Big sun.
This is okay.
There's a lot of multiple syllable words that I want to use.
I'm gonna try it. Make strong cell.
Mitochondria.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know.
I would have said power. Space house.
That's all I wanted to say the whole time was just power.
You could have just said blank of the cell. And the people would have been in powerhouse and you would have been like, and you would have
True.
been like,
Can we not
mitochondria.
use the? Or was that not?
Oh yeah,
Oh, we
blank
can't
of
use
cell.
the?
Blank
Oh.
of cell, you have to say.
Blank of cell. Okay.
So I almost wouldn't.
I don't know if that would help me.
Yeah, it almost wouldn't trigger the mnemonic.
Oh, I didn't see the other one.
The term is axon.
Come on, Dean Radha.
I'm ready. Nerve end. Long.
Dendrite. Axon.
Nah, you got
it.
an easy one.
Hey,
Good job.
you're not. That's a testament to my skills. Not an
I'm
easy.
sorry.
I made it easy.
I'm sorry, you made it easy.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
The word is cancer.
Crab.
Cancer. I don't know.
Let's go.
I watch too much Sketchy. Whenever I see a crab, I think cancer, which it's okay. Sketchy is like a tool that you can use to learn. It's a really dumb tool that uses visual mnemonics to like remember things, and every time they put a crab on the like the little sketchy picture, it means cancer. So my mind just went cancer the crab.
I guess it worked, sort of.
Yeah. Well, because
What didn't work for this time?
it's also astrology.
Yes.
Yes. Charlotte would know.
Yes.
Which is not the same thing.
Charlotte the astrologer. She's also an astrologer.
Astrologist.
An astronomer astrologist.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Taryn. One more pass.
I like.
Oh,
I was going to say,
12:50.
what time do you guys need to leave for your exam?
We do one more. I mean, I can do one more. I'm good. Unless you're...
Do you need a bathroom break before the exam?
No. Sympathetics are...
Okay.
All right. This will be speed round.
Yep. Speed round. See if
We
I
each have a card and we each just talk over each other.
Yeah, perfect.
That's exactly how a podcast should work.
Yeah. People like that.
Oh my God.
I'm ready.
The word is eukaryote.
Go.
Many cell thing.
Eukaryote.
Bam.
I thought eukaryote was animal cells.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like,
But I did not
usually,
actually research it, so I couldn't.
No, it's okay. No, that's right. But like, typically when people think of eukaryotes, they think of multicellular organisms, even though yeasts are a thing.
I think I have an idea for mine.
The term is DNA.
Okay.
Pole makes.
Pole
Makes.
metaphase, anaphase, prophase.
Pole makes.
Just keep saying it.
I am.
RNA. Polymerase.
Oh, pole makes
Close.
DNA, RNA, DNA.
DNA.
Oh,
DNA.
I didn't.
I was thinking
you
of
understood
RNA.
it as pole as in POL.
Yeah.
It occurred to me after, yeah.
Wow, dude, you're big brain. That's simply it. You big brain.
Have big brain.
Caveman brain.
Make talk good. Go ahead. You look like you have something.
The term is glycolysis.
2 A T P.
Oh,
Glycolysis.
good job. The word wasn't in my head. I also went ATP binding cassette, which that's getting very
I
specific.
feel like you're just throwing words together there. Binding cassette.
It's a thing.
What is it? Cassette.
ATP binding
What does that
cassette.
have to do with mixtapes from the 90s? Come on.
More than you know, Dave. More than you know.
Hey, it's a type of active transport. They know more about it than anyone.
Got it. Got it.
I have no idea how I'm going to do this one. I'm not going to lie.
It's the last one.
I know.
Got to make it good.
What's associated with it?
The word is endosome.
Eat.
Food.
Glucose.
Phagocytosis.
Oh,
Penocytosis.
cytosis.
Macrophage.
In. Cell.
Cavioli.
Lysosome.
Eat. Endosome.
Endosome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, I
That's
don't know. how to-
hard.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what am I going to even?
What's
Yeah.
an endosome?
It's you guys should say it.
It's all you.
Goodness. You can have vesicles that basically it's taking something from the outside, bringing it inside the cell.
Mm-hmm.
I think it can also branch off of the ER.
It does. It can.
Yeah. So you can have it from either spot, from outside taking things in, or from your ER just literally just as like a little bud. It's literally just
Right?
I know what
It,
an
like,
ER
moves
is.
stuff.
It's an
Bubble.
endoplasmic reticulum.
Yeah. So it's
Look at
bubble in cell.
Got it.
Holds trash.
Got it.
And like other stuff.
Yeah.
Holds trash.
Eventually can turn into
gold.
lysosome if holding trash.
yeah, you can recycle.
Yeah.
Well, that's our show. Taryn, Sarah, Luke, Radha, thanks for being a part of it.
Thanks for having us.
Did you
Dave.
say Luke? I heard something different. I heard poop.
Poop? Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
And what kind of Neanderthal would I be if I didn't thank you, Shortcoats, for making us a part of your week? If you're new here and you like what you heard today, follow the show wherever fine podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube. Wherever. The show is made possible by a generous donation by Carver College of Medicine student government and ongoing support from the Writing and Humanities program. Our music is by Dr. Vox and Catmosphere. I'm Dave Etler saying, don't let child with no dad get you down. Talk to you in 1 week. Hi, Shortcoats. Look, life in medical education, life in America, life in the world is often difficult. And I often wish I could help. All I have is this podcast, but in my wildest dreams, you have the support you need to lead a life of your choosing. You deserve to be happy, healthy, and successful in whatever ways you define those words. So if you need support because you've experienced racism, discrimination, harassment, mental health crises, I want you to be able to get the help that you need. And so I'm going to put some links in the show notes to some resources that you can use. But the bottom line is that for what it's worth, I see you. I know you're out there. I wish I could do more. Maybe I can in ways that I don't understand yet or know about. But I see you, and I'm glad you're here, and other people are too. The Short Code Podcast is a proud member of the MedEd Media Network. Inspiration, information, and guidance on your journey to medical school and beyond at mededmedia.com.